Hello, everyone. Coach Mo Fall here. It is time for another layer of awareness on your career and your soul. If you're new to my work, I'm Coach Mo Fall. I am the founder and the creator of your Kick-Ass Career Workshop, where we help women bring their souls back to life and land their dream jobs, creating a career and a life that is beyond their dreams. And I am so happy to be with you here today to talk about this topic. Because, so often I'm talking about how to like navigate a toxic boss, or how you can never really succeed if you have a toxic boss or work environment. But today I'm flipping that around because I hear this issue probably as much as I hear any other issue related to bosses. Is your career dependent on your boss being awesome? Ooh. I've seen this so many times, women whose careers and jobs are cratered when their great boss leaves, gets promoted, moves up. I've seen women whose bosses have died and they're left holding the bag. And unfortunately, what you might be perceiving as a great boss may actually be putting you in too much of a protective situation where perhaps you haven't learned how to navigate things. So, if you are one of my clients, welcome to another wonderful, inspirational, and always stimulating, inspiring Coach Mo Live. If you are new, this is Coach Mo Live, and I'm here to set you straight on what your career needs in a boss. And your boss being super duper awesome may actually be an Achilles heel that is unexposed. Because if your boss is awesome, you're getting great reviews. Perhaps you even love your boss, knowing how much your boss appreciates you. But are you advancing? Is your boss helping you with a plan and a path for doing more and being more? Or do you have that terrible boss that has been holding your career back? Um, you know, Here's the thing. And Ellen, it looks like you've got a situation that you're going to have to navigate. If you're not advancing, either because your boss is so good and you love your boss and you're like happy as a clam, just want to stay there, not a good career move. Or if your boss sucks and you're in such a negative space that you don't even know if you could or if you would or if you should get anywhere else. Many of us have heard of the Stockholm Syndrome. That's when hostages actually take on a symbiotic relationship with their captor. This happens in a toxic bully work environment. How many times? Hundreds. We've talked to a woman who's in a toxic work environment, and she's like, yeah, but if I go somewhere, it could be just like this. Or I know all the people here. So even though it's toxic and I'm not making any more money and my life sucks, like at least I know how to drive to work, or at least get on the Zoom calls, or at least I know, if I want to do this or that, who to call. Really? So I am saying this to you, ladies, and maybe there's a few gentlemen here. If your boss is awesome, but you are not advancing, it is not a good situation for you. If your boss is not awesome and you're not advancing, that's not a good situation for you either. What does a great boss look like? A great boss looks like someone who kicks your ass a little bit, has some empathy for your situation, but not enough that they're going to coddle you and keep you from growing. A great boss pushes you into things that are new. A great boss pushes you into meetings or avenues of experience in your work that are growing, meeting other people that are helping you put yourself out there. A great boss is also teaching you the intangibles of how to be successful. If you're in a situation where you're manager or above, most of what you need for the next layer is not better Excel spreadsheets skills. Most of what you need for the next layer is how to navigate work, how to navigate people, how to influence, how to present, how to speak up. Now, if you're working under a boss where they do all the heavy lifting and you're sort of just feeding them stuff, you're not growing. And that is not a good, rich environment. It's like putting a silk flower in a pot of soil. It's just not going to go anywhere. If you put a wilted flower in fertile soil and you do the right things with the soil, sun, water, that wilted flower will perk back up. Have you ever had that situation? I love when that happens. I love giving fresh water to cut flowers that are starting to look a little limp, and then the fresh water perks them all up. I love watching things grow. Ellen, if you're not growing at all, mofall.com/strategy. I'll tell you right now, we are busting at the seams with clarity calls and booked. So if you want to talk with us, talk to our team of experts, you are going to want to get yourself on a complimentary career clarity call and have us work with you on that call on really understanding the layers. Why haven't you left? What's holding you back? What's this costing you emotionally, financially? Not making a career move might seem sort of like a thing to do, but it's more than that. Your career, your work is a big part of who you are. Have you noticed? Because if you're not happy at work, everyone around you knows it. And when you are happy at work, everyone around you knows it too. So what are you putting out there? Are you bored? Are you sort of going through the motions? Are you not stimulated enough? But you're like, oh, if I go somewhere else, they might challenge me. Oh, if I go somewhere else, I might have to learn new people. Oh, if I go somewhere else, I may have to get into a new environment. Said no plant ever when you are transplanting them into a bigger pot of soil so that could grow and the roots could spread out. We are very much like organic, natural creatures because we are. And the thing I want to help you understand first is that your career is a big part of how you define your happiness, your fulfillment in life, your satisfaction. Family is one thing. Friends are another thing. Experiences in life are another thing. But the work you do, the personal skills and talents that you have, that you put out in the world and receive compensation for, is a very intimate sense of self. Now, you may say, well, I've been told, Mo, that we shouldn't define ourselves by our career and our work. I'm not saying it's everything. It's a big thing. It's a big part of how you feel about yourself. So what you want to do to feel awesome in life is to make sure that that's a right fit. If you're under a boss who is not helping you grow and everything feels great, but you're not moving forward or growing, you've got a career problem. If you went to a doctor and there was no circulation in your left foot, your doctor would say, we got a problem here. This left foot is not getting any circulation. Your career needs circulation. Just like any part of your body, it needs energy flow and growth and momentum in order for it to feel good for you. And when you do have all of that, you will actually feel a better a better sense of self. So, oh, Ellen, you've decided to be a realtor. Please book a call with us. You know how hard it is to be successful in realty? I do. I know a lot of people who have gone that route, and I know a few who are super successful, and there's a huge difference. So I'm not saying you can't be successful in realty, but oftentimes it's an escape hatch because what you really know how to do isn't quite working. It's your soul first. So we would love to talk to you about what that looks like for you, because plan B, to do a harder job, doing realty is harder than almost any other job that you could have on the planet Earth. Okay? It's not like default easier, let me do this because I like people, I like houses. It is a hard job. I know someone who's a rock star and he has a big team now. It's a hard job. Trust me when I say that. I'm a career expert. Your role in whatever field, profession that you know how to do, what you have experience, expertise, and education is your best leverage for more and better. I'm just saying. What I'd like to help you understand this week and take forward in your week is this. Where in your relationship with your boss are you finding growth and advancement? And where are you not? Get real with yourself. Where are you finding advancement and growth, and where are you not? If you're finding advancement and growth with your current role, with your current boss, and you're moving forward, if you've had a promotion in the last 2 to 3 years, that's a healthy amount. If you have not had a promotion in the last 2 to 3 years, something is not as healthy as it ought to be for you and your success. Let's just do some math here. I love, love, love math. I'm a numbers gal. So if you are getting promoted every 2 to 3 years, that's usually somewhere between 20 and 50,000. One of our clients just got a 90,000 increase on a promotion that she was bypassed for a year ago, and she was really upset about it, and that almost derailed her entire job. She booked her complimentary clarity call, mofall.com/live clarity. And we helped work with her on the inside. And then we helped her with strategies to advance. And now she's a rock star. And she had a fantastic promotion at the end of last year. That would have never happened if she would have kept doing it her way. So what we do to help women advance is we help them see who they are deep down inside and then put strategies forward that help you advance. So let's say you're not advancing. Let's say you haven't advanced for 10 years. We just had a woman who joined our workshop. She quit after 12 years because she was not going anywhere and no one was advancing her. If you don't have an advancement over 12 years and you've missed out on 4 promotions of, let's just say $40,000. That's 40,000 year 1, year 2, year 3. That's 120. Another 40,000 year 4, 5, and 6. That's another 160. Another, it's 120. Another 3 for another 120. Another 3 for another 120. If you have 12 years of stagnation, you have more than likely passed up promotions over the years that would equal, are you ready for this number? Because over 12 years, not getting promoted is at least $500,000 difference in pay. I didn't even do the compounding factor. I just did straight math, 120,000 every 3 years that you're passing up because you're not advancing. Perhaps you're not asking, perhaps you're not being supported, perhaps you're not being advocated, perhaps you're not being seen as promotable. Perhaps you're not talking in meetings properly in a way that would engender success, positivity, credibility. Perhaps you're focused on the weeds and the details and they're really talking strategy and you come in with your input and it's like, who invited her to the meeting? Or the favorite one I love picking on, if you're the devil's advocate, you can count yourself out of the promotion queue. Please, this week, do not be a devil's advocate. If it is one thing that you do in a meeting, stop it immediately. Do not be the devil's advocate. You don't need that excuse to be smart and have an opinion or insight in a meeting. It is a very negative reframe and it pisses people off. If you're an executive in a meeting and someone says, so I'd like to be the devil's advocate and kill everyone's brilliant ideas right now on the spot because I'm smarter than y'all. Don't be that person. If you're being protected by a boss and not being invited into meetings, you got a problem. You got to advance yourself into meetings, into more exposure, into better and greater environments in order for more people to see what you bring to the table. Now, here's the thing. If your boss is keeping you out of all that cool stuff and you're agreeing with it and you're sitting back going, well, at least I don't have to go to those meetings. Thank goodness, because I'm not really quite sure I'd know what to say anyway. There's a woman I spoke to at the end of last week, and she's starting in our kick-ass workshop this week. And she said to me as we were wrapping up her clarity call, I've got a presentation next week with senior VPs and EVPs. Can you give me some tips? And I absolutely laid it on the line, module 6. You know why? Because she said yes to herself to be coachable, decisive, resourceful, and she is moving forward to invest in experts that are helping her, me and my team, to advance herself. So she got all the best coaching in that moment, all the best coaching to tee up her week. Her boss has not helped her advance. Her boss is very complimentary. Her boss doesn't want to do her job. So the thing that happens sometimes, ladies, is your boss doesn't want to do your job. So your boss holds you back because they don't want to do the work you're doing. Yes, definitely, Amy, help with re-entering the workforce. Especially if it's due to cancer. We are your team. We had a gal, I think she's just ready to graduate from our 12-week program. She was out of the workforce for 9 years raising her kids. Got her a rock and roll job, helped her see herself big, helped her land a big job, and now we're helping her acclimate back into that world. And that's been a lot of what we've been coaching on her after she landed that great job working with us. I'm a strategist. They are IT, and I'm not. They didn't like that I brought things above the head. I stopped myself. Ellen, sounds like exactly what's going on with you is what we help our clients solve. There could be big things in your future that are a hell of a lot easier than that realtor thing. Check us out. mofall.com/live clarity. Get you talking to one of our experts. We're going to dive in. We're going to dig in. We're going to get to understand and know what's been going on with your career. And if the things we fix are the things that are going on and you're ready to be coachable, you're ready to be decisive, you're ready to be resourceful, we're going to be ready to help you. I've been doing this work for myself and my career for over 25 years. And in 8 years ago, it'll almost be an anniversary here. 8 years ago, I decided to leave my corporate role as a chief operating officer for a big, big division of a national publicly traded healthcare company. And I decided that I was going to help women advance in ways that I saw them falling and failing as an executive. Not as many women advanced in the ways that they could have if they would have known certain things. And the big knowingness is who you are and feeling comfortable and happy and confident with who you are and what you bring to the table as a human. And then it's the education, expertise, and experience. If you're a professional woman and you are not happy with where you are in your career, it is time to take responsibility for that and do the things that we teach our clients. Just like one other gal, I'll call her Jane so I can protect her identity. Jane had gotten tossed out on a job during some downsizing in COVID. She was sure she wanted to change industry and she'd never be able to be successful again. Not only that, she had a little bit of a physical disability that she felt really shamed about and embarrassed, and she didn't want to put herself out there to feeling either mocked or embarrassed that she couldn't perhaps be the person that she wanted to be. We helped her get back into her soul. That's the first thing we do. When you get your soul back, you get that inner light back, and now you can see all the beautiful, wonderful, awesome things you bring to the table. The second thing we did with Jane is that we helped her see all of that and articulate her awesomeness. You see, so many women, we are trained from a very young age. How about like one, how not to speak up, how not to be big and bright and shiny. And if you've been around a 4-year-old lately, you know that every 4-year-old wants to be seen and heard and feel awesome. And so most human beings have been tripped up from the age of 1, 2, 3, 4, and have learned to hold back, have learned to be fearful about themselves and putting themselves out there. That doesn't quite work well in a work environment when you've had a life of that, or threads of a life of being shut down and told to sit over here and don't be so smart. When we worked with this client, Jane, that I'm talking to you about, and helped her really see who she is and what she brings to the table, she came alive in a new way. And you know what? That physical limitation she had became a non issue. But when you're feeling fearful and scared, any limitation you have becomes this big magnifying event. So when we work with you, like we have with Jane and thousands of other women, we're going to help you see you're awesome, and we're going to help you break free of the chains that are holding you back, whether it be an excellent boss who is holding you back because they need you in their department, or a bully boss who's holding you back because now you're convinced that you could never be so good. Those are two critical things that you're believing. Recently one of our gals got fired by a new boss, and she said, my career was great for 15 years. I had an awesome boss. New boss comes in, I'm fired 2 weeks later. She helped inspire today's topic. She and dozens of other women we've heard the same story from. I had a woman several years ago who was a rock star at what she did as a profession and had the same boss for 13 years. And he died of a stroke. Sudden vacancy of that job. She was left bossless for a while. And then the boss that did come in was an absolute jerk. She was going into such a traumatic scene every day because this boss was nothing like the boss who had died. And she was doubting herself every single minute. Every single move she made in her job, she was feeling tense and prickly and scared. And I remember coaching this woman and helping her come down from her nervous system and anxiety, and at the same time mobilizing what she knows how to do and the truth about who she is. We tried to move her very quickly out of that environment because it was super toxic and she wasn't able to thrive at all as a human and as a mom. She moved across the country. Some of her friends and family said that she was nuts, but she really had to do that as a power move for herself. She had a great job, and she has since landed another great job living in the Midwest, which is where she feels home and she feels safe. And that's really where her people are. And I'll never forget the terror she came on that clarity call with years ago and who she is today. Here's the thing. I know that if your career is not working for you, it's probably not because of your education, expertise, or experience. It's because you're believing the untruths about a boss who's keeping you stuck or a boss who's treating you poorly and you're not sure who you are. Do not believe anyone who tells you differently. But if you're not advancing every 2 to 3 years, there's something to be done to help you have satisfaction and happiness in your career. There's lots of jobs out there looking for women who really want to take care of their career and their trajectory. It's literally worth millions of dollars for you to advance your career and not be held hostage by a boss, whether they be an excellent, great, wonderful boss, but they're just not advancing you, or whether they be a toxic boss who is not advancing you because they're just toxic and you're sitting around taking it. Time to make a move. Book your complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity, and let's get this taken care of for you. Do not be boss dependent in your career. Be soul dependent. Be you dependent. Depend on yourself, and we'll help you get all of those strategies so that you can depend on yourself and you'll have everything you need to advance in your career and take on that dream job, because the first thing we're going to do is help you bring your soul back to life. And that's where all the answers are. Then we'll help you pour that into a fantastic strategy that fits you like a glove. That sounds like a great thing to focus on for this week. So take a close look in the mirror. Are you advancing? Is your boss truly helping you advance? And if not, even if they are you the one wanting the advancement or going in that direction? Learn how to call the shots for yourself. Learn how to take charge of your career. Learn how to be the one who is driving that career bus for yourself. We'll show you all of the ways to do it. But first, we're going to show you how to bring your soul back to life. This is Coach Mo Fall. Do not have your career be boss dependent. Work with experts and coaches like us to help you get in the driver's seat of your career and feel awesome for the rest of your life. This is Coach Mo, founder and creator of the Kick Ass Career Program, where you want to be so that you can take control of your career and your life. You're too precious not to. Let's make it happen this week. Coach Mo, mofall.com/live clarity to get things wrapped up and started. Make it your best month, your best year. We'll help you and show you how. We'll see you next time. Coach Mo, mofall.com.